Sloss and Humphries on the road.
Muggins and cream and muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
And that's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
Well, I finally climbed from underneath the floorboards of my house after the Scotland game. It's fucking weird living over here, Mark.
Did you notice much? Did you notice,
I didn't leave the house.
Did you not?
Yeah, not bad. I was through Edinburgh for most of the day, and then I got caught in the match day traffic coming back into Glasgow. And then watched it with my wife, who just becomes the most Scottish person alive.
Really? And here?
Because, you know, she'll wear like an England top when the Lionesses play. Like he's look at her like as if she's one of them.
Lionesses are alright though.
Like Danny has disdain for Natalie because she'll cheer England on when they're not playing Scotland. But fucking on a day when England plays Scotland, that's twice in the last couple of years we've played each other when we've lived here. And she's fucking singing Flower of Scotland at us all day.
Fucking right.
With all the added bits. Calling us a wanker. My wife calling us a wanker.
It was, do you know what? For a friendly, it was fairly tasty the other night. Mm-hmm. Like it was, I don't know it's a built up tension because there's so many folk making big deals about it since. Like the fact that we were booing God save, I nearly said God save the Queen.
Yeah. Didn't do a good job of that, did he? Where's your God now?
No. God hates you.
God save the Queen. Nah, good. Save her yourself.
Yeah.
And then as if jinxing it wasn't bad enough, we start singing about the King.
It must, like, have you, I don't know, because you're Geordie, do you sing it?
I've never gotten anything out of that song.
I've never sung it in my life.
Like it did more for us when it was about the Queen. I have an actual bit of like disdain for it now. It's about the King. I hate that because it's the only time it's ever changed in my lifetime. I hate how you'd either go God save our gracious Queen. Yeah, right. It's like very specific. If you're calling someone gracious, you're being specific. Yeah. You don't know who the next person's going to be, but you're going to call them gracious anyway. And you could get like a Henry VIII type king.
He's not gracious at all.
Gracious.
Fucking.
But you call him gracious.
There's no way with those big fucking fingers that Charles is gracious with anything. He's not gentle, is he?
There's no grace in that,
He's fucking knocking over milk and all sorts at the breakfast table.
You see that when he was like kicking off and he's like help us trying to move a fucking thingy around and
with a pen. Yeah.
There's no gracious about that man.
Nah.
So like I'm not gonna just step in and start singing about someone being gracious when we haven't thought it through. Write him his own specific song.
Well, each one of them gets a theme. Like
God save our buffoon. Buffoon's the wrong word. I feel it. Improv isn't my strong suit.
So you'd keep the same. You keep the same song, the same basic song. I thought you were going to write a different theme tune, like boxers as they come in.
Proper mix it up. Imagine
they get their own fucking.
Imagine the pressure. Imagine the pressure of that songwriter having to write the King's very own theme song.
Well, they do like. Do you remember? Because they always get an artist in to do an official painting, and Rolf Harris did it. Do you remember that years ago? Rolf Harris was the official Queen's
amazing
painter. He did the portrait. He's been doing it for Andrew for years.
That's where the communicate on that. And I normally do these for kids. Do you like kids, do you? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Andrew? Because I mean, I do like kids, but what do you? You know, because these pedos find each other, don't they? They find each other. They must put little.
That would make an amazing sketch. Two pedos sizing each other up.
They must size each other. I didn't mean anything like that. But if I did, though,
the last thing you want to do is lay your cards out right on the table, and they're not in there at all.
No one's fucking putting a pedo card in immediately other.
You've got to poker face it.
Pedos dip their toe in with other pedos.
But
I wonder how many times like you've had a pedo dip their toe in with you and find out you're not the guy, and you haven't realised. That you've been pedo-tested.
Oh God,
by a pedo.
My Christ, can you imagine? Fucking hell. Oh.
I'm going to be thinking about every interaction I have with anyone new to see if it's a pedo test in the water with us to see if I'm one of them.
Just say it. Come out with it in the most innocuous things that people say. Like, I'll get that door for you, mate. The fuck do you mean by that?
Want email. Maybe it's like because I've always talked about the limp handshake a few times on this podcast. You know, Mason's got a handshake. Maybe it's the limp handshake, guys. Maybe it's
they might have their own.
The secret handshake of the nonsense. Just give them your hand.
Aye.
And then because they'd know as soon as them two limp handshakes got together, there'd be a chemistry.
If your hands are really soft as well, you'd get an inkling.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't wank off a kid with a rough hand.
And also, you can't wank off yourself and imagine a kid's doing it if you haven't got soft hands.
You can't have the hand of a scaffolder and go, whoa, what you been up to at school today?
It's a Blythe kid.
Is it the Masons? Is the Masons handshake the one where they like rub one of the knuckles?
Do they not like press the fleshy part of your hand?
Is that what it is?
I think they just gently press the bit between your thumb.
Right.
I think they gently press in there.
Is that not pressure points as well? Acupuncturist people do that.
Do they?
You can like relax yourself on a plane or something
by pressing on there.
That. Yeah. So if you're sitting there on a plane going like that,
I'm always relaxed around Freemasons. I'm never more relaxed than I'm with it.
My dad got asked to join the Masons years ago.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he turn them down?
He turned them down.
What do you have to do to get asked?
Oh, you need to. It's like really exclusive golf clubs. You need to have had a guy that's been in for a good while. Yeah, I think you need to have like 3 signatories or something like that. So you need to.
Have they let lasses in yet?
No, God, no.
Blacks?
I don't know actually.
Homosexuals?
I don't think, no. I wonder what the hierarchy would be. I think women would probably be last.
Strict Masons.
The closed Masons. I wonder what the hierarchy. I wonder what minority group they would allow in first. I reckon they'd probably allow men of colour ahead of any white women.
You think
I reckon
so?
women are at the bottom.
Aye. Just below rats.
Aye. Well, no. Catholics will be the bottom.
That was Borat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You were saying it against men, then women, then rats, then Jews. Fuck's sake.
They're running to the Jews. Remember that fucking thing?
Oh, man. It's so funny that like the Jewish comedy writers like Sacha Baron Cohen and fucking Matt Stone and Trey Parker. Matt
Stone and Trey Parker.
They are just the fucking self attacks that they
Yeah. They just own it.
Ari Shafir, have you seen his special too? Like the shit that like you feel bad even laughing at it.
Yeah,
it was written and composed by a Jewish man.
Yeah,
and you still feel bad. Still like, you cannot say that.
Yeah. That's the ultimate though. That's completely owning it. That's completely bringing it back and going, fuck, I can make well worse jokes about myself than you ever could.
Do you reckon I reckon Jewish are the first ones in the Freemasons out of the minority groups. I reckon they're high up. I reckon they're before men of colour.
Aye. Disabled people?
Nah, not a chance.
Because they're all old buildings.
I think there's a lot
of stairs. There's no way a Freemason is going to put a fucking lift in one of those old bits.
I think that's true, but I also think like there's Freemasons who will have getting disabled. Like no Freemasons like trans. Like none of became women.
No.
None of became.
That might be the group that
not
will
a
get
single.
last.
Not a single Freemason has become a woman.
No,
but a few Freemasons have become disabled.
Yeah, that's true.
So
and been banished. Like a fucking king's court. Get the fuck out.
You get. I want to put this on record that the Freemasons sacrifice disabled people.
So that's a Patreon episode by any chance?
£3 paywall. £3 paywall. That's the protection I need.
That'll keep us safe.
Do you reckon the Freemasons go after people that disparage them? Do you think you can? Do you think you can invoke the wrath of the Freemasons?
Nah, I don't think they're a hugely. I mean, I don't know because they're a secretive society, but I don't know. I don't know how powerful they are now. I think they would have been.
According to Da
80s.
Vinci Code, they've got some.
Oh, aye. Oh, they'd have been the top dogs back in the day.
But now do you think they're just like you know?
Now they're like the scouts.
You know, like, I don't want to go after biker gangs. That's the wrong people to go after. But biker gangs.
Fucking hold up here, guy. It's not.
Biker gangs are like real salt of the earth blokes who do like charity drives now.
Yeah, so they are, yeah.
They're really like, they're still hard cunts.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't really want to cross them.
No.
But like, they do like Easter egg hunts and that. And
But there is a more acceptable face of the biker gang now.
aye,
Whereas, I take it, were biker gangs, particularly 60s, they're mostly drug dealers. But also, because there's the thing, because the Hells Angels...
And enforcers probably as well.
Aye, because the Rolling Stones hired, was it Altamont, their gig there? They hired the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones hired the Hells Angels as their private security for the gig, and they ended up fucking killing a guy in the crowd. Like, I don't even think the guy did that much wrong. I think
They just did it for publicity.
I think he either crowd surfed or held up a sign going like "Play Satisfaction" or something.
Can I have your t-shirt?
He just fucking destroyed the guy.
Please, can I have your wristband, Keith? As a kid. As a disabled kid. and the Rolling Stones hadn't hired a gang that hired Freemasons. Right, so this is a fact. I just want to put this on record. The Rolling Stones hired the Freemasons as security,
and they killed
They killed a disabled kid at a gig because he wanted Keith Richards' wristband, sweatband. I'm putting a lot of stuff on record today. Like this is, it's gonna get played back in court, and I'm gonna stand there just like completely agree.
Yep.
I've been watching Yellowstone at the minute. This isn't a complete pivot because it's the same writer as Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, is it?
And it is absolutely Sons of Anarchy on horses.
Oh, nice.
Have you seen it?
No, I've not. Actually,
Kevin Costner.
Yeah,
he's class in it.
Because I never watched it because I thought like Costner was an old guy in it, and I'd read the description of it, and it was something like he was a farmhand or something. Like he owned a farm or something like that.
He owns a ranch.
He owns a ranch.
He's like one of the last, the last actual cowboys who's like fucking actually herding cattle and living off the fat of the land.
What era is it set in?
It's got iPhones.
What?
It's now.
It's a modern day cowboy.
It's a modern day cowboy film.
Fuck off.
And it's like people are trying to encroach on his land to build casinos.
All right.
And it gets like they're just going above and beyond the law to fucking stop this from happening. It's like, and there's also the element of this like super rich Native American who wants the land back off him because he believes it's his.
All right.
So it's all like it's lawyers and iPhones, but also horseback and gun fights.
That is nothing what I thought. Like when I read he was a ranch hand or a ranch owner, I assumed it was set at Wild West kind of times, and I just thought that'll be dull as fuck.
I believe there's a spin-off series that's just come out that's the 1800s, and it's the same ranch.
All right,
but this is like started in 2018 and runs until nowish. Five seasons.
So it's violent.
Aye.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah, it's really good. It's corny as fuck.
I really like Sons.
It's super corny. It's corny like Sons is.
Aye.
And it's kind of the same mold where like there's the bloke you're meant to fancy who's meant to be cool as fuck and a bit like
Costner.
The shagger in it now, like.
That's it, aye. That's good. Costner gets in the way,
I think the district attorney or something like he's shagging someone pretty high up in government.
Old fucking Costner. The bodyguard.
I'm loving Costner now. Like I've watched a couple of films with him in recently. I watched JFK with your recommendation. I watched Untouchables.
Oh, fucking
Sean Connery's shiting it, man.
Boy, fuck off. Won an Oscar for it, you tit. You fucking idiot.
He plays Sean Connery in it. It's so funny.
Of course he plays Sean Connery. He never plays anybody else.
He's honestly putting his own accent on. It sounds like...
You think he's doing an impression of himself?
Like he's doing an impression of himself all the way through the film. I think, what are you doing?
It's too much, Sean. Fucking dial it down. Take the Connery down to about a 7 there.
Yeah, what you doing? This. It was so funny. It's like he's like a parody of himself.
He's fucking good. Do you know, like, that's one of the only scenes in films, I think, where it's like I cry at. See when he dies,
Aye,
and he's crawling along,
and
he's like fucking, and then he wants to get the cross, the patron saint cross. That and when Goose dies in Top Gun.
Oh fuck, guys! Top Gun too.
That's the only two acceptable. Aye. Have you just seen it?
Fucking class, that.
Have you just seen it?
Recently, like about a month ago, maybe.
It's amazing, isn't it?
But I haven't spoken to you since I've seen it. Like, I've spoken to you, but not about this. I didn't know how they were going to make it work.
I thought it was going to be shit.
It's like fucking the tension and the suspense on their actual mission when they're doing the mission.
It's proper
and
class.
The relationship between him and Goose's younger. And it's like proper sensationalistic, Americanized fucking. But that's what you want from it.
Like, it's awesome.
It's like what you want from a Rocky film, you know.
See that bit when they're sitting there and the John Hamm. Is it John Hamm from Mad Men? He's sitting there and he's basically saying, right, fucking, here's how we're going to do the mission now. And they're like, that, this is literally suicide. And he goes, well, you can't do it the way he was going to get you to do it. And then the fucking TV just comes on and you hear him, and fucking Tom Cruise is in the fighter jet, and he's going to show, I'll fucking do it. Like, it's
he's
awesome.
already away.
It's absolutely awesome.
There's mint moments in it.
It's so good.
So I've been watching loads of films based on your recommendations, because I put it on Facebook a while ago, didn't I? I just watched 12 Angry Men. And
that's not the film.
I just watched it was a Freemason.
It's a Freemasons. It's a Freemasons outside the disabled clinic. 12 angry Freemasons
picketing.
Freemasons watching the Great North Run. Just guns in wheelchairs.
Chucking rocks at them. You're going to make them worse. You're going to make them more disabled. You'll hate them more. What are you doing? Oh, did you hear? You know what? I'm saying, did you hear? This is like Cullen that's read the headline of something and then passed it to their friend as news. But I'm going to do it anyway. Did you hear? There was a blind athlete trying to beat the Guinness World Records at the Great North Run.
No.
And he was following an athlete that had a bell.
Right.
And the organisers of the Great North Run.
And then a cat came on.
Worse. The organisers of the Great North Run gave everyone at the finish line a bell.
No. Oh my God. This cunt just exploded.
No.
It's ran.
Mate, apparently was running in circles. No. No, I'm telling you this. Off a Facebook status I saw of somebody who I don't know, and I'm passing it to his news.
Such bullshit.
But like,
there's no way. There's no way he'd be running round in circles. He'd realise something was amiss.
But you would just think that it got a little bit like a couple of chicanes towards the end. Imagine being in that blind guy's head, right? You're running full tick. You're fucking exhausted at that point. You're listening for the bell. And then you just hear the bells elsewhere.
Oh, and you're trying
to identify the bell, right, from the bell that you've been listening to, from the bells that are ringing. You're trying to isolate that one sound, right? But you don't want to stop running because you're nearly there.
Aye. So this was right at so this would be like the last 100 metres. So this was like the finish.
I mean, you're asking us for more information. I've read a dude's Facebook status.
Fuck it. So that's how blind... Well, again, you won't know. That's how blind runners. So that
was the old joke.
The bell holder would need to be marginally fitter than you, because they need to keep a pace.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah. So you'd have to get like the bell holder would have to be an actual athlete.
Aye.
I mean, we are like presuming we're building this world based on a Facebook status.
Aye.
But I would presume that the person with the bell would be. Like, why don't I was going to say, why don't you put them on a leash? But I just feel like it's just an ethical quandary, isn't it?
Like, why? Like, if you were towing a car, why not just join up with a slack so that you can go around bends and stuff?
Aye,
but that would make more sense. But then, what if one falls? Then that's.
And if you had the bell, like that would, even at the end when people are cheering and egging you on. Yeah. That would drown out the bell a bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Nah, you're right. And then what if a church? You run past a church
Oh yeah.
on the stroke of the hour.
Oh, fuck, next thing you know,
this cunt's going uphill. What the fuck is
next thing you know, you're running down the aisle of a wedding. So, somebody's just turning with a chair on the right, look down the aisle. It's just fucking Stevie Wonder fucking going full tick. God, I'm not doing all that.
I didn't know James was marrying a blind guy.
That'll make sense now.
Why is he wearing
James,
why is he wearing
ugly
a
fucker.
vest?
Why is he wearing a vest?
Oh, Christ.
He definitely didn't catch the bouquet at the last one. No, unless had a bell in it.
Did you see the Mexican guy that found Colin?
The what?
Did you see the Mexican guy that found Colin? The aliens?
Oh, right. I like a little tiny
tiny wee alien.
like plaster of Paris alien. Just Cullen's exoskeleton. Passing
them off.
Cullen had climbed out of his second skin and somebody in Mexico found it. And Cullen's just going on living his life.
It's that fucking... Why would... If you were trying to pass off fake aliens, why would you make them look like every alien that's ever been drawn?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, at least put something in.
That's why I had this theory that was in my first ever Fringe show that as evolution goes on, right, for the future years, like we're going to be grey in skin because we're going to be like a homogenous colour. Like at the minute, we've got a lot of variety from like black people, brown people, Asians, Caucasian. Right, eventually everyone will be this homogenous colour.
Right,
it's
that's
like
fair enough.
Right, and we're like now we don't need strength and we need intelligence to provide. Women are going to be more attracted to intelligent men. So the brain's going to be more of an evolutionary quality than the brawn. So you're going to end up with big-headed men with skinny bodies who are all like a homogenous colour.
Right.
And then we've invented time travel. Right, we invented time travel in the future, and we came back as time travellers, and everybody just assumed we're aliens. And it's just us from the future coming back, and that's why we're all the skinny-bodied, grey, big-headed things. And this is the joke that never worked, but I did it every day. And the disabled people have got it enough on this podcast. But you do know I love you. Stephen Hawking had a theory that there's no such thing as time travel, because if time travel is real, we would have been visited already.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, we have been visited already, and that's what the aliens are.
Right,
but
yeah.
Stephen Hawking is actually from the future, and he's the person who invented time travel because he's so smart. And he went back, and he just hadn't ironed the kinks. And he arrived a little bit mangled from the future, and just set his life work into telling people not to pursue time travel.
I've seen the damage it can do. Leave it alone. Look at me. He hadn't ironed out the kinks.
He hadn't ironed out the kinks of the time travel. And this purely able-bodied man got in the pod, and went back in time and was like, "Fuck, damn, I fucked it." Right, lad, time travel doesn't work. Doesn't work. Don't pursue it. You're wasting your time, scientists. Make phones smaller. You need to make phones smaller.
Oh God Almighty!
My first ever, quite an ambitious bit of material for my first ever Fringe show.
For a debut show,
for somebody who still
somebody who hasn't ironed out the kinks yet.
I know the kinks yet. I still haven't. From my debut hour, and I still had a day job. I thought I'd gone in with, here's why he's disabled.
And how did it not work? Did it land ever?
Huh?
At the Fringe, did it land?
Occasionally. It was quite a long-winded bit to get into. You know where I didn't figure it out? All them bits along the way, like telling you about like people being the homogenous colour, about heads being bigger, about bodies being smaller, about aliens being people from the future. I didn't build laughs into that bit. That was all just build up.
So it was just you saying stuff.
Just me saying stuff. So then when I got to that bit, like, people liked it, but I took them too far doing a road when they laughs to get there. So if I was to ever do that bit again, I'm being super hypothetical here because I'm not going to do that bit again. I'd work on each of the individual bits and make each of them their own bit. That was like, had punchlines and was funny.
I mean, it's not that bad a theory. Like when you actually explain it, like the grey skin coloration does make sense.
Oh, the theory of them being aliens being time travelers, and that's why like through all like.
Oh no, that's a load of shit.
Right.
That I don't believe that bit.
No,
but the bit
about Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, no, that I'm fully on board with that. No, the idea that aliens are grey because in the future all skin colour just starts to slowly match and becomes this.
Yeah.
But then the brain thing, why would that? Are you talking about brains actually growing?
Evolutions are like, have you read Sapiens, the Noah Yuval Harari book?
No.
About like, we're always born, like, we're technically born premature, like we're underdeveloped, you know, like if you see a horse being born and it'll just get up and run off straight away. But we need we have like the 4th trimester when we're alive where we're just perma-care because we're not ready yet. That's to do with the shrinking of the hips from us standing up and becoming bipeds.
Right.
Instead of being on all fours and fucking running around like chimps.
Right.
We're like more upright from looking out for predators, like meerkats.
Oh,
so the angle of the hips, and because we're like more intelligent as a species, our brains are bigger. So with the baby's bigger head and the angle of the hips creating a smaller hole to come out of, means that we'll come out prematurely because of the big head. So already we're on that evolutionary path to have bigger.
So every human comes out premature.
Uh-huh.
What age should we be?
What, to be walking around in that?
Like you can't be.
I'm not a real scientist. I know
Can't be
I've tried
giving
to fool
birth,
you a couple of times, but
fully grown men.
I'm gonna say like 9 years old.
9? About 9-year-old. Fucking hell. Whoa. That's a grim time for women.
When do kids walk? When can they support their own body weight?
So I'm trying to think when mine started walking.
I would say in that when can they crawl? I reckon crawling age would be the primate.
Crawling?
birth.
I mean, most of them start crawling around about 4 or 5 months, I think.
Do they?
I don't know, I can't remember.
So something around that 6-month mark, I reckon, would be prime. If they could come out and do some stuff like any other animal.
Aye.
Because other animals just crack on.
Other animals just hit the deck and then immediately get up and
who taught you that?
fuck off.
Who the fuck taught you that?
But then there's also, they have to because their parents don't hugely take care of them that much. Like they will, I think most animals will take care of their young early doors. But there's no animal that takes care of like we do.
Allegedly as well, the intelligence, our intelligence started growing exponentially because of the fact that the babies couldn't just take care of themselves and you needed community. So you needed other people in your tribe to help you with the baby. So you'd have to communicate, and the communication is just the sharing of knowledge, isn't it?
That's just fascinating, man.
So just by needing the community to keep the baby alive that isn't ready to fend for itself in any position, we'll become more intelligent as a species. Totally recommend any of his books. He's got a handful of books, and Sapiens is that one. That's the best one out of all of his books.
Are they all about this kind of shit?
Mm-hmm. Like that one's more about evolution, and I think Homo Deus is more about the future.
Gay folk.
the literal antithesis to evolution. the culling of humankind. Oh my god.
I'll get that then, and I will watch Yellowstone. Has Costner now become one of those guys then that, like, because Liam Neeson's done it and Denzel Washington's done it, where these lads get to like 60 odd and then become action heroes?
He shows his age in it. He's not like a bulletproof guy. Like he's gone through some health stuff,
right?
And he's hanging on by a thread to his empire.
Aye,
like he's not bulletproof in it, but his word commands respect still.
Aye. So I think Costner's actually done a couple of those Taken type Equalizer films. That was a weird movement.
Expendables did it, do you think? When they just got the old guys in.
Aye, that's true, actually. Aye.
I didn't realise they wanted 4 now. I watched one and I knew there was a sequel, and then I just saw a bus with 4 on it. I think I missed that there was a third one.
Aye, there is. I don't even know who's in it.
Are they any
now.
good?
Do you know what? They're really entertaining.
Who are they pulling out the woodwork now to like take it to the next level?
There's nobody really left, like, because they've really. I don't think there's anybody new in the new one. Because they brought Wesley Snipes out, and then
Class.
Dolph
Where's he been?
Dolph Lundgren was
up
in
there?
one of them. I know. I
haven't seen
Wesley Snipes was he not in jail? He's in jail for tax avoidance.
Was he?
Yeah. He's a massive tax bill, and I don't know if he actually
on him.
went to jail. I know. So Dolph Lundgren was in one of them, and then Jet Li, he was brought out for one of them.
Oh, it was sad seeing Val Kilmer and Maverick looking ropey,
close to death.
Aye, because I don't know how much that was hammed up to make him look ill.
Oh no, I think that was fucking.
That was.
I don't know if he's like the proper voice thing, but
because I've been banging to me, like, you actually got us into the westerns, which got us onto Yellowstone, which got us onto. I'm recently playing Red Dead Redemption as well. Which class game, that a bit slow to get into. I was like, fucking, I just wanted to get on with it and the stuff happening, but now I'm really into it.
Is it the second one you're playing?
Yes.
Aye.
Tombstone I watched with Val Kilmer.
Aye, that's quality.
That Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell plays Wyatt Earp, and Val Kilmer plays
Doc Holliday.
Doc Holliday, that's it. And there's a bit where Wyatt Earp's just trying to get rid of some bandits, like just playing them off, like, I'm not into that life anymore and all that. And he was like, what about you, Doc? Are you past your best or something? He's like, nah, I'm in my prime.
yeah.
Like, fucking class, man.
He's always fucking that film as well. He's got some weird, like, pneumonia kind of thing where he has to
he's hacking up a lung.
He always has to have a hanky with him.
He's got a catheter and a fucking drip and everything. He's wheeling around. He's wearing a nightgown and he's like, nah, I'm in my prime. I read Red Dead Redemption fucking killed us the other day because I'd just been on a level, right, where you get drunk and you're looking for your mate and someone keeps bothering you while you're drunk and you're getting more drunk and then I fucking ended up drowning this bloke in a pig trough, right? At least I don't know what, I fucking drowned him in a pig trough. And then I picked up a new horse and I went to name it and I called it Spatchcock. Right? I called my horse Spatchcock and it wouldn't let us name the horse Spatchcock because it had a swear word in it.
Spatch.
I was like, this is Rockstar Games, man.
I know.
You taught me how to beat up an old grandma with a dildo.
That is mental. Is there no...
What the fuck are you doing? Is this a joke? Like, am I in on a joke here? I didn't exclaim that it was a joke, but it wouldn't let us name my horse a swear word.
Surely there is swearing from the characters.
There definitely is.
Aye.
100%
Because there's tons of it in Grand Theft Auto.
And there's brutal murder.
Aye.
You can hog tie a cunt and put him on the railway line. And wait for the steam train.
So can you... Because I've played the first one. I've never played the second one. Seeing the second one, can you choose how to kill people? Like, do you interact with the surroundings, but there are inventive ways that you can kill?
Yes, I haven't gotten too much into the just free roaming killing cunts yet.
So you're still doing missions and shit?
I'm still doing missions because when I said it's a bit slow, it's like I just went to start like lasso someone off the horse while I'm going past them, and then somebody snitches, and then I'm getting chased by fucking bounty hunters, and then I'm dead, and then I get plonked at the other end of the map, and I have to ride my horse all the way back. So I haven't really gotten into the creative killing yet. I'm still sticking to the mission and doing the odd side quest here and there, but I like it gives you options. You can spare people the first couple of missions. It lets you spare people or wipe them out. There was like one bloke where he was like fucking hanging off the cliff, and I just fucking give us a chance to pull him up, and I just shot him in the heat. just in case anyone found the body and thought it was a natural death.
Yeah. It's so funny.
It's great.
Killing
game,
people
but
in games is so funny.
I found it so funny being told off for swearing by Rockstar Games.
Yeah,
that's like mental. Bill Cosby not swearing. Bill Cosby didn't swear, did he?
No, he's famously didn't swear.
You're like, aye, what else you up to?
Yeah, aye.
What else you up to? Hog tying people and putting them on the train tracks, are you?
Did you see that the next Grand Theft Auto game's going to have Joe Rogan's podcast as one of the stations when you get in a car?
just so you can take a car straight into the wall. Just so you've got an authentic excuse if you mow down a bunch of people.
Oh, God.
I love that. Did you ever play? I think it was Grand Theft Auto 4 and it had Frankie Boyle on it.
Yeah, you could get the comic and Ricky Gervais.
Yeah,
do sets. Aye.
fucking
for the
madness.
comedy club.
That's a level in stand-up that you didn't even know you could reach.
No, that's absolute peak.
Until you get there, and you're in a fucking Grand Theft Auto game.
It's fucking hilarious watching it as well, because I've since watched clips of it on YouTube where you get like Gervais or Frankie doing very clearly gags that are culturally set in Britain, and then you've got a table full of fucking Polish gangsters fucking slapping their thighs like that. You don't know what Aldi is. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. How do you know about Jill Daniels?
Hey, fucking Jordan's kid gets brought up and he's slapping his palms back like that.
Harvey Price joke. It's not true. It's like you, that. It's like you. Oh man, when's that out? The Grand Theft Auto 6?
I don't know. They keep teasing it for ages.
Grand Theft Auto.
The Grand Theft Auto 6 is on the PlayStation 5.
What did Cullen call the Goodfellas?
The good. Oh god!
I was watching the Goodfellas.
I was watching the Goodfellas. Ever since I was a boy, I wanted to be one of the Goodfellas.
Fellow with a W. Did you enjoy Cullen's Christmas sausage that I left out for you the other day?
So funny, man, because we've not told. We're waiting till Christmas to tell the full story on our podcast.
So we're saving the story.
Well, I imagine it's been told on this.
I don't know if it has.
Previously, it's I fucking died. I took a picture of it as well. I meant to send you it actually, but it was very, very funny. And then because it had been sitting, was that it sitting in just water?
The brain out the tin.
Was it the brain out the tin?
The brain out the tin.
Because we couldn't work out whether it was. And then on the podcast, I said to Colin that I'd give him 50 quid if he drunk the sausage juice. And he was like, there's no fucking... And then I said, if I drink it, give me a $5. And he wouldn't even do that. He was like, I cannot sit and watch you drink sausage juice.
Oh, God.
It's still too raw for him.
He sounds posh.
The pain.
Still raw. Right. Context. We're on a podcast. We'll give the people the context. In a WhatsApp group over Christmas, we're all communicating with each other about how our Christmas is going.
Yeah, it started very innocently.
Very innocently. And then Colin's like, oh, the drama's kicking off at my house.
Gareth came in and said, how's everybody's Christmas morning been?
Aye.
And we all basically went, aye, all right, not bad.
I'm at the in-laws, quiet one.
I just opened my first beer.
Yeah, no, it's happened yet.
Bye, right.
And his kicked off that, like, it's kicked off in my house. Somebody's at the sausage. And it was the word the. It was the word it was the word the.
Not a sausage. The sausage.
Oh my God, Colin, someone at the Christmas sausage. And there was just all of these just fucking scenarios of Eugene kicking off in the house because the Christmas sausage was gone and it hadn't even been divided out yet between the family. It was very, even secondhand now telling on a podcast, hard to explain, but what it left was fucking 9 middle-aged men with all their family and extended family fucking howling at a WhatsApp. Howl absolutely in fucking pieces at a WhatsApp, and they couldn't really explain it.
I could barely stand. I was laughing so much.
Did you see Gareth recently done an interview about being a new dad, and it was for a bit of press for the Fringe?
Yeah, John the Fringe, yeah.
He got asked, was his kid just like a month old at the time or something, right? And they was talking about the tiredness, and he just like gave a little bit of context to that and said, one day I was just laughing at this WhatsApp conversation about this sausage, and my wife asked what I was laughing at, and I think it was just the tired delirium of not having much sleep and having a new baby, and I just said to my wife, just something about a sausage, I'm just laughing at the sausage, it's a funny sausage. And they clipped it without any of the context, and it was like, what's it like being a new dad? And he's like, I just laughed at a sausage, and my wife asked what I was laughing at, and I was just like, it's just a funny sausage.
He comes across a fucking lunatic.
And it was like 8 months after the fucking fact, and we're still howling at this fucking sausage thing. So I'm giving you I haven't got the studio at the minute. You've been using the studio. We're busy refurbishing that right now. And you guys come to my house when I wasn't in to record the podcast here. Yeah. And I just put out one hot dog in hot dog brain with a note next to it. Do not, block capitals not. Do not eat the sausage. It's marinating for Christmas.
Oh, God.
I cannot wait to hear your podcast when Cullen fully explains what the fuck was going on with the Christmas sausage, because
we've never really got a full explanation because we were laughing too much. I don't think we've ever got a full explanation over what the deal was, why the anger was so ferocious that this sausage had been eaten.
Because it was him that ate it as well.
It was him that ate it.
Was him that
he
ate
never
it.
fucking let slip. And Eugene, because it was
because he even tried to fool us.
Yeah.
At first, because he was like, Eugene's kicking off because somebody ate the Christmas sausage. Well, I'll had my fun. We're all howling laughing at the Christmas sausage, and then he's like, comes out that it was him that ate it.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you trying to pull the wool out?
I know.
Why are you trying to convince us? But I still to this day don't know.
No, that same day, Eugene, because their turkey was dry, or their turkey was off. Their turkey was like rancid and it was past itself by then. So Eugene he had to get stopped because he was going to march out the house and go to the butcher's that he bought it from and fucking smack the guy on Christmas Day. Like he was going to knock the guy's door down.
He's not working Christmas Day.
No, he's going to go to the guy's house.
He's just in Donegal serving soup. He's serving soup at the homeless shelter.
Eugene drags him over the counter.
Just starts dunking his head in the soup. My turkey's dry, you daft cunt.
Oh, God almighty. Oh, Jesus. How does the new studio look?
Great. We've put a lick of paint on it. We've done that thing. We've got... People can look on the Instagram. We've posted some things on the Instagram, you know, when you've got two tones on one wall, but you've got like masking tape.
It looked cool.
Over it. We've fucked up the first bit, you know, when you don't pull it down at the 45-degree angle and you pull it away, you pull it off instead of away.
Oh, I didn't know you had to do that.
That. We found it the hard way. Like, we just peeled it, and it was like fucking blemish. And we're like, this is gonna look shite. Because it's said to take it off when it's wet. And I was like, I've never taken off when it's wet in my entire fucking life. Like,
I know.
Waited for it to dry. Like, this instructions fucking were like, I know it says take it off when it's wet, but like, and then I read a bit more up on it, and it was all about that 45 degree. I had to move so fucking slowly. It was painstaking.
So you pull it down rather than...
Well, because the line was at an angle anyway. Like, I kind of had to pull it like 45 degrees away, down and away from that. But it's come up immaculate. Like, there's one bit we have to touch up. I'm just going to use like a bit of cardboard. And, it's just one bit, so I can just do it with a bit and a brush. So that's all in, and we've got the furniture's like all starting to arrive now. We've already got all of the tech, so it's going to look mint. And I've getting a dehumidifier in there as well. It was fucking mouldy, man. You know.
No, I can imagine it would be.
When we took down the sound, but the sound things, they were just stinking. They were lifting, like covered in mould on the back, and fucking stinking of damp. I had them in the car with us because I was going to store them just in my attic here, and then like wheel them back.
You just dumped them.
I went straight to the dump. I just got in touch with Cara, and I was just like, I found out what that smell was in the studio because I'm in the car with it. I'm just going straight to the dump.
So
quite a lot of money's worth for shit now, but I'm sure we could have steam cleaned them and upcycled them or what the fuck ever, but I didn't want to store that in my house or in my car or like just get rid of them. So we're getting all new acoustic panels, but that means we can get like aesthetically pleasing ones that go with the deco as well. So we've got them ordered. They arrived today, I think.
Fucking hell, man.
So we've got new acoustic panels coming in. We've got like everything. The whole thing's just been stripped and redone.
Wow.
It's gonna be good. Looking forward to that. And,
we'll
don't think the standard of what chat's gonna change much. It's all gonna be this still. But like at this point, this is what you've tuned in for.
You're not there for the look. You're not there for the aesthetic.
Nah. We're spoiling you since you pay for this shit. Thanks. We're giving you all of it back this time because the first round, we just went to Vegas with it, and they were very accepting of that. That was the trade. The trade was, look, we'll do this as and when we fancy it, but if you pay for it, we'll do it twice a week forever. So that was them locking it in and us treating it like a job.
Aye.
But what we got for that was a trip to Vegas.
Kick-ass trip to Vegas.
Thank you very much. That was amazing.
I also,
but we're not just going to go to Vegas and stop the podcast and fucking pull the plug on you.
Imagine if that was. Thanks very much for that.
So since we got back from Vegas, we've put it all back into the pod.
Nice, man. Actually, I remember me and Colin turned up one day and there was just a shitload of fucking Sony cameras sitting there.
Aye.
Just like a big stack of the cunts.
Sat in the damp.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that was another thing. Fucking God bless Matthew, who does so much work on this podcast, but he's exactly like Daniel in that I just felt like, because he just knew we weren't going to use them straight away, but he wanted to look at them. And when I went to clear the studio, the box had just been exploded everywhere, and there's just like manuals and different bits and camera lenses and like the tripod as well. Just like I needed to pack everything back up to take it back out, and they'd just been exploded. And I was just laughing at Danny and Cara. I was just like, I've just spent the first hour just repackaging everything. And Cara was like, "Oh, Danny's like that," and I was like, "Where'd you get that from, your mum or your dad?" And like, "Oh, my dad." And apparently, just the Sloss boys just disrespect for anything that they're opening.
Really, it's just chucked
doesn't matter
everywhere.
how many thousands of pounds. They're just like, "Didn't need that, didn't need that." This is the thing. Anyway. I like to do stuff like that with a bit of ceremony.
Aye.
You know what I mean? You've got something new. I'll even like with fucking something as simple as your iPhone.
Like a proper unboxing. Yeah.
Like I really like the aspect of getting something new and just seeing what else is in the box with it. Not top down camera recording it and making it Instagrammable.
No,
but just going through the process myself.
It's nice because it's something nice you've got yourself. Take a bit of time and pride and go. Don't just fucking like a mental case just start chucking shit about it.
Open it with your teeth. But I guess that studio's been like hard to manage as well, because Danny will just go in and use it as a gym and use it as a...
That's why the damp is
a smoking shed. It's been on a Peloton and something with no ventilation.
No, it's fucking like, the water vapour just escaping from his balls, just soaking into the soundboards,
straight into the decal, straight into the electronics. So I've realised that like I feel, because I'm not the most tidy person going. Like I'm not anal with tidiness, but I feel like if we're gonna keep that studio tidy, it's just gonna have to be my little pride and joy. And even though it's not on my property and it's on somebody else's property, I feel like I'm gonna have to just make sure that I go in and like tidy on the way in, tidy on the way out, just keep it nice so that it's a good space.
Aye.
Because it's really hard to work with somebody that's got just got such a disregard for cleanliness,
for common decency.
Daniel's Jean texted us one time, "I've tidied the studio up for you," when she was staying over there, and I got in and it was like a fucking crack den, and I sent her pictures and she was like, "Honest to God, Kai, I tidied it." In the space of her tidying it and me doing the next podcast, it somehow exploded in there again. Jesus.
Remember when his mum found a frog under his bed?
Aye.
It's one of the most mental things I've ever seen in my fucking life.
It was the skeleton of a frog.
It wasn't even an alive.
And I don't think it was under the bed. It was like under a pile of clothes or something. It was like on the floor on the carpet.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
It was on the carpet. Like it had come in, died, and then not just died, but completely decomposed to a skeleton.
That's being untidy to the nth degree.
You know, it's really funny. The last few times I've been around his house, he's like, the place has been immaculate, and he's been pointedly cleaning around us. And I don't know if he's doing it because I'm there, right, or if he just does that anyway now. But remember in the speech, I lit him up for it.
Yeah.
And the parents have heard it actually, so I lit him up for being untidy. And ever since that speech, every time I've been around, he's tidied up in front of us. And we named him.
How was Lindisfarne?
I didn't go. I was in
Portugal.
Did you not
go?
Nah.
Oh, you were away doing gigs.
Nah, it was a bastard, because I've took quite a bit of time off over August and September, because he's off to a bunch of weddings and stuff, and I got the opportunity to put some weekend club gigs in my diary. And I just pied all of them. Every time the mail shot got sent out for, "Do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this?" I was like, you know what? I want to spend some time at home. Actually, Newcastle are going to start playing in Europe, and I want to go. I want to go to Milan, and I want to. So I'm going to Milan on Monday.
Was it this Monday?
Yeah.
Fuck. So when's the game? Next Wednesday?
Tuesday.
So I'm
flying out to Turin, and me and Natalie are having a night in Turin, because they do direct flights from Edinburgh.
Right.
We're having a night in Turin, and then getting a train through to Milan, checking into an Airbnb, pretty close to the San Siro as well.
Nice.
And we've got hold of 2 tickets. There's been this massive thing.
I was trying to explain this to my wee brother the other night at the Scotland game. What is the deal with the...
So, they say on all of the information that you need ID with your ticket, and you've got to buy it in your own name. So, say my friend buys a ticket off his 45 points on his season ticket before they get released to the broader audience.
Yeah.
Right? It's got his name on it. So, they were told that there'd be collection points in Milan where you have to go and say, my name's this, here's my ID, here's my season ticket, collect your thing, and then go to the stadium with your ticket.
Aye.
Now, I phoned my brother-in-law who's followed his team across Europe, and he says if he's had to collect at a collection point, he's been ID'd. But if he's had the ticket in his hand and went to the stadium, he's never once been ID'd at a single stadium across Europe, including the San Siro. Right? So I've actually got the physical ticket because they got sent to the season ticket holders who bought them for us. So I don't have to go to a collection point. So my hope is that I can just walk into the stadium with the ticket. My backup plan is I'm putting some euros in my passport and learning the Italian for keep the change. So if I get ID'd at the stadium, I'll hand over my passport and say keep the change. And they'll open it up, take that bribe, and let us in. I don't like to stereotype an entire nation, but I feel like the Italians would take a bribe.
Aye. Well,
I feel like that would be the top answer on Family Fortunes.
Aye.
Is what nation would take a bribe?
I'd go any of the kind of southern European. Spanish would take a bribe. In a second.
In a second, and on that note, a lot of the South American countries.
Oh, fucking! You
would absolutely take.
You wouldn't even need a ticket in the South American countries.
You see, Russia, you take the bribe and then still not let us in. You take the bribe, then lock us up. Like you take the money, take my passport, lock us up. So I'm not counting. You're not in this because you're not playing by the rules of bribery. That's not a bribe. That's theft.
Is Can going?
Not to this one. We've me and Can have already booked our flights and accommodation in Paris.
All right,
for the PSG game. The tickets haven't been released for that yet, so that's going to be the next saga. But I love it. I don't care if we get beat 7-0. Obviously, it's going to be a different fucking atmosphere altogether if we get anything above a draw or a goal.
Aye. Celebrating a
goal.
But
the whole experience of following my team to Europe is like something that I've like had as a bucket list for a long time.
Yeah.
Like last time we were in Europe, I simply couldn't afford it. It's like I wasn't in a position in my life. 2012 in Europa.
Was that in Keegan?
2005 in Pardew.
Pardew. All right.
2005 was the last time we won the Champions League, and that was Bobby Robson.
Oh, fuck, aye.
So around about 2005, like I used to travel around the UK again. I went like Anfield for a FA Cup game. I went and watched we get beat off Wigan, and I went the Millennium Stadium to watch the semi-final against Man United. Mm-hmm. Like I'd done a lot of football tourism within the country at that age. I just I didn't get abroad.
Aye.
I didn't get overseas. I didn't quite have that money.
Because I'm trying to mastermind like going to Germany just now.
Aye.
Because the tickets won't get released till the draw. I mean, the draw's not till December. And by that point, so what a load of folk are doing now, what I'm looking out just now is basically booking somewhere to stay in every single one of the cities.
Yeah.
But making sure it's one of the places that you don't have to pay till like 2 days before, and you get a full refund. You know what I mean? There's no outlay.
Yeah. You like refundable. Like
even if it is refundable,
yeah,
I'll buy it. But I wouldn't be able to afford that because there's like 12 whole cities.
So you gotta pure hedge your bets.
Aye, and there's certain places like if you kind of stay in like Frankfurt or that, there's certain cities that are fairly close to all the other cities.
Could they not like open the camps for all the Scotland fans? Could they not? They haven't plumbed them in. You don't need to plumb them in, but they're gonna. I heard there was some comfy beds there.
Weren't that many?
By Scottish standards.
There weren't that many in Germany. They fucking had the camps elsewhere, you tit. Auschwitz isn't in downtown Munich, for fuck's sake.
Don't light us up on me don't light us up on me geography, Mark.
You don't.
It's not like
You don't shit where you eat. Like
it's not like I'm one of the most worldly travelled people on the planet.
Oh God! But there's a chance when booking the tickets, I might have enough points on my Scotland supporters. But
is that how it works?
Yeah, it's the same thing. The internationals, aye. So I reckon I might just sneak in, but then Seamus won't, and I'm taking him with me. But at that stage, I'm now planning on going. Like if I go and or one of my pals goes and my brother goes and we both get tickets, just fucking put him in front of you in the turnstiles, and then just sit him on my knee,
just sneak him in
for the game, because it's not like.
Have you got time to get him enough points? Is there enough games?
Nah, there's not. There's no chance. He's only been a member since the start of this campaign, because this is how long he's been old enough to go. So it's like. There's no way you could get that amount of points now. Nah,
so that's done. Because I mean, Natalie would love to go out, but there's no chance of getting tickets now.
It'll be like any fucking international tournament. If you go out, there's a chance you could pick up tickets from. Because, like, what I didn't realise UEFA do is they give every single country that's in the qualifiers an allocation, and then if you don't qualify, those federations still need to get rid of the tickets, so they then get released back. So there's a good chance you will have, like,
there'll be some floating tickets.
There might be. I mean, the German fans will have tickets.
Yeah,
and it's a case of
in that circumstances might change.
Finding German fans and going.
Yeah. We've probably got some contacts out in Germany as well, you know, from the tours that we do, because we do big tours in Germany. So
I'll explore every avenue, like. So.
Because I'd love to go with Natalie, because she would happily go to an England game with me, and I'd happily go to a Scotland game with her. We're not feral against each other's nations, but there was no way we could have went to that game on Tuesday, because I couldn't have sat in her end and she couldn't have sat in my end. But we'd love to go out to Germany and go to one of each other's games if we could. But I'm loving getting into football tourism.
It's class, isn't it?
Like actually getting out and about and like do, because I stayed over in Paris when I was there gigging and went to a PSG game just on my own.
That's good fun.
I've been out to the Bernabeu to watch a Champions League game and stuff. And I've actually done a stadium tour of the San Siro, but I've never seen a game there. There wasn't any on when I was there. But I just I've dipped my toe in it, and now I want that. That's what I want my life to be.
It's class, man.
Because I don't know. There's a lot of people that listen to this podcast that aren't into football. And I just want to try and explain to them why football's so good. It's because you hand over something that affects your emotions massively to something that's completely out of your control. Yeah. Something that's so out of your control. And it's like, the more you get into it, the more amplified them emotions are.
Yeah.
But what it means is you can get the joy of an emotion that, like, you can't get from another thing in life.
Nah.
Right? You know when, like, Newcastle fucking score in a semi-final or whatever, right? And I go nuts. I jump off my seat, like fucking the emotion hits, and I'm riding that emotion before I've had a chance to process it. I'm fucking flinging my arms around. I'm hugging my mate. I'm hugging a stranger next to us. That, I can't get that from anywhere else.
No, you can't replicate that in anything.
Like, the stuff that I love in life. I love having sex with my wife. Afterwards, I'm not like,
you're never hugging a stranger. The fuck are you doing here?
I love getting paid, Mark.
Yeah.
You know, when fucking money goes into my bank.
Yeah. No, it's a primal release of just fucking euphoria.
Yeah. You hand it over to something that you've got no control over at all. And for me, this what's happening with Newcastle at the minute, right? It's took 14 years of having a shit time. And it's been so worth the investment for how good a time I'm having right now.
It does make it a lot better. Like, there is something to be said about if you have sat through utter shite for decades to then have that.
Yeah.
Like, it's why, like, I don't think there's as much passion. There certainly won't be there's no passion. If you've recently, since they've become massive, started following Man City, you're not going to be excited about them.
We've got mates who, Daniel supported Chelsea from the Abramovich era.
And then now he's just given up.
He's just given up because like he hasn't been through the connection with the club.
He's got no.
And then, like, Cullen supports Arsenal because of like Thierry Henry. And when he jumped on when they won the league, now like winning the league's just something that you just expect. Like I've never watched my club or country win anything in football, not a thing.
Same.
Like I didn't jump on when they'd won something and think that was going to be the thing. I'm just living in this constant chasing of this dragon that I haven't like. Chasing the dragon suggests you've already had it. Like chasing the pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. In my entire life has been on this fucking quest to have that emotion. Like if that emotion ever comes from, I'd take club over country. This is where me and you differ. I would take club over country. My identity, my civic pride is much more attached to Newcastle than it is to England. When I get that feeling, it's going to be something that you just kind of get from anywhere else. And there'll be people who just didn't tune into football and didn't care about football and didn't make that investment. That just won't get to have that feeling.
Yeah, I know.
And it's a bit sad. It's a little bit sad in a way when people are dismissive of it, because I'm like, oh, there's actually something out there in the world that
I hate people that hate football.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I you know what?
People are so snidey about. It's just that whenever a tournament comes on and they'll say shit like, "Oh, is that?" They always make up a word for it.
Kicky ball or something.
Fuck off.
Aye. Anybody that's like 11 borderline rapists chasing around a pigskin or whatever, like you're like
11 borderline rapists. Anyway, the fact that you've added a ball has just made it so much better.
I think them chasing you, mate. Oh, the beautiful game. It brings out the worst in me as well. It's fucking class. Because it's so funny how you have to go now, don't you?
Aye.
Right. It's so class how, like, if England remotely boo the national anthem of any other country, you're like the fucking disrespectful fucking wank stain on me. Just shameless nation. Just horrible scum. And then fucking you guys booing a 19-year-old. And then fucking 50,000 a year plus just booing teenagers. Like booing the national anthem. But when you do it, scum. But you know what though? I weirdly find it more acceptable from Scottish fans than English fans. And I am an England fan, right? But you know when England fans are all over Trafalgar Square setting fireworks out up their arse, right? You're like, oh, wankers making them look like tits. When I see the Scottish fans taking over Trafalgar Square, I'm like,
quite charming.
They look fun.
Yeah. It's gracious.
It's great. It's gracious. You do it with an air of grace. That even like booing our national anthem, you do it with an air of grace that we just don't have when we boo national anthems. When you're slagging off teenagers who are running around trying to make a career for themselves, you just do it with an air of grace in Scotland.
Class.
Right, mate. Thanks for coming on the pod. The Perfect Playlist podcast he does with.
I don't do that anymore.
Oh, sorry.
We'll come back at some point. Absolute Cuts.
I actually meant Absolute Cuts. Yeah, Absolute Cuts, and you'll hear Ryan Cullen's version of the Christmas sausage story around about Christmas time. So invest now. Invest now. It's like football. Invest now, and it'll pay off. It'll pay off in the future. It's going to be. It's going to be.
So much more emotional.
There's going to be a lot of months of hurt in the build-up. Cheers, Mark.
Cheers.
You're a legend.